In this video, we're going to be going over the highest rating changes in NBA 2K19 that happen whenever you switch a player's position. So 2K is pretty notorious for, I don't want to say getting positions wrong, but sometimes getting positions wrong. Or sometimes a player that even if a position they play in real life, they're just best suited to play a different position, at least for 2K rating's sake. So that is what this video is going to focus on, and we're going to start with probably the most famous person in 2K for this, and that is Ben Simmons. Now, he is kind of all over the place because he can really play all 5 positions, aside from the fact that he can't shoot a lick outside of like a foot. That's an exaggeration, but you know, listed at point guard primarily is his position, but you can play him at small forward, you can play him at power forward, and with today's day and age, you can honestly play him at center. So they have him listed at power forward in the game. Now, if you want to switch him to his real position that he plays most often, with being the primary ball handler at point guard, that's going to bump him down to an 86. However, if you switch him to small forward, that is going to bump him up to a 91. So Ben Simmons ranks at the #1 change here, getting a +4 overall change when you move him from power forward down to small forward. The next player is going to be another power forward to small forward switch, and that is going to be a theme that you see throughout this video a lot. And before we continue, I will note that there are probably like 30 other players in 2K that if you switch their positions from power forward to small forward, they'll get a +2 boost. So go around and experiment with that, because everybody in this list is at least +3 or above. I was going to do the +2s, but there's just so many. So this one is +3 and above. Now we're on to the next one, that being Kyle Kuzma. A lot of people were outraged. They said, you only gave him an 80 overall. He kind of balled out. And I knew why it was only an 80 overall, because I knew they were going to list him as a power forward. You switch this man down to a small forward, and he jumps up to an 84 overall. So same with Ben Simmons, Kyle Kuzma gets a +4 overall change when you switch him from power forward down to small forward. Now we have one more change that is a +4 overall change, and you guessed it, it's another power forward down to small forward. The same thing with Kuzma and the same thing with Simmons. This guy pretty much plays both positions. He's not really a power forward, he's not really a small forward, he is just a forward. And that is Mbah Moute, the defender that the Rockets sadly lost. You switch him from power forward down to small forward, he's going to jump from a 75 overall up to a 79 overall. So he also gets a +4 boost, and he is with the Clippers. So once you make him a 79 overall, he's going to have their 3rd best rating on the team, behind Lou Will and Tobias Harris. And speaking of Tobias Harris, next up on the list, another power forward down to small forward change. Tobias Harris, you switch his position, he's going to go from an 82 to an 85. So that is 2 power forwards on the Clippers that if you switch their positions, they're going to go up. And Mbah Moute getting a +4 change from a 75 to a 79. Harris from an 82 to an 85. So the Clippers right there switching some positions around. Now we're going to head back over to the Los Angeles Lakers, where we previously switched Kuzma around from an 84 or an 80 to an 84. You want to take a guess at what the position change is going to be? Small forward from a power forward. Michael Beasley, the next one. Again, he's one of those players that he's in today's day and age, he's just a forward. But they list him as a power forward in 2K. Switch him to a small forward, he's going to get a +3 overall boost, bumping him from a 76 to a 79. I don't really think I have to say it, but the next one is a power forward to small forward change. This guy, I feel like he is at his right position listed as a power forward, that being Jabari Parker, obviously, because of his size and kind of the way he plays. He's more of that stretch 4, but like in a Paul Pierce kind of way. So really, I think he's more of a small forward, but because of today's small ball and how big he is, I think he's better suited at the power forward position. But who cares? You switch him to small forward, he's going to go from an 81 to an 84, so another +3 change right there. Now the Bucks last year were the team to switch positions, and the reason I say the Bucks is because Jabari Parker used to play for the Bucks, and there were multiple players on that team that if you switch their positions around, it would boost it. And that is a little spoiler alert to how we're going to close the video off. But we are not closing it off just yet. We still have a couple more to go. The next one, not a power forward to small forward. This is one of the first ones, actually. I think that is the first one, now that I'm looking at my list, that we have had. But he's still a forward. Kind of. I don't know what Roberson is really. He has like no offensive game outside of dunks and but man, can he defend. So shooting guard in the name has shooting, and he can't shoot a lick. So when you switch him from the shooting guard position to the small forward position, he's going to go from a 76 to a 79. Now, what you want to do with that, that's your choice. I still wouldn't really start him if you're playing as a Thunder, mainly because of that no offense, but you need a defensive piece. Andre Roberson is your guy. Sticking with the defensive theme inside of the ball, this one might surprise a lot of people. It did surprise me when I first thought of it, but then when you kind of break it down and when you see what happened to Paul Millsap a couple years ago, when you change his position in 2K, it makes sense. What I was talking about is Paul Millsap. If you switched him from power forward to small forward, I think it was like 2K16, he jumped up like 3 or 4, and I thought that was a little weird. Well, Draymond Green does the same thing. You bump him from the power forward position to the center position, which is the two positions that he really does play, he actually drops. So he stays at an 87, 86, but if you switch him to small forward, he jumps to a 90 overall. So if you do that, you will have 4 players in 90 overall. The only one that is not is Klay Thompson with an 89. So Draymond really did surprise me a little bit there, but not too much when you look at his defensive side and you put him at the small forward position. That they really thrive at that. As we're winding down on the video, we have a couple more left. This one actually surprised me a little bit too. But again, as I thought about it more, not too much. Jrue Holiday, you switch him from the point guard position to the shooting guard position, and he goes from an 85 to an 88 overall. So Jrue Holiday, I think after that playoff performance he put on, he really got a lot of love and respect around the league. Not that he already wasn't respected, but kind of just demanded more respect from people. Now doing this, though, I don't know if it's the greatest idea. He is 6'4", which isn't the smallest for a shooting guard, but it is undersized, and he is only 205 pounds. So it does risk, but if you're just looking for that overall boost, that'll do it for you. Now for some honorable mentions, now that all of the +3 and up overall changes are over. If you remember earlier on in the video, I said, little spoiler alert, I hinted at Jabari Parker, how he used to play for the Bucks, and he does get a +3 overall change. A couple other players in the Bucks also have this effect, and when Jabari used to play for them last year, if you did this to everybody on the Bucks team, you could have a solid starting lineup overall wise. So these aren't really part of the list, but this is kind of end of video, little extra gift for you guys. So Chris Middleton, you switch him from shooting guard to small forward, he goes from an 84 to an 86. So it's only a +2 overall, but there are more. Malcolm Brogdon, same thing, goes from a 79 to an 81 when you switch him from point guard to shooting guard or point guard to small forward. So he actually gets better at 2 positions when you bump him up. I think Eric Bledsoe does the same thing. He does go up 1, which isn't too much there, but... And then Ilyasova, oh no, he does stay the same. So overall, nothing too crazy there, just 2 +2 changes, but with the addition of Jabari Parker from last year, it was just kind of interesting how you could really twist the Bucks around to make them better than they seemed in 2K. That is going to wrap it up for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like and hit subscribe for more content like this. Social media links are in the description, and until next time, thank you for watching.